My name is Amanda Mascia. I'm a resident of the San Diego Coastal Zone. I'm here speaking on behalf of an opposition to the residential or to the land use change from TR to VC, specifically on the Agua Hedionda South Shore segment. As Ms. Praler explained, thank you, that was part of a voter initiative, but it really should be called a developer-led initiative called Measure A. That land was voted on in February 23rd on a 397-page voter initiative. The developer wrote this as a land use change to change 50 acres of the South Shore from travel recreation to allow for a regional shopping center. The voters voted this down on February 23rd in a landslide vote. 64% of voters turned out, the highest voter turnout for a measure. What needs to be understood is that the will of the voters should be respected, that Carlsbad is a charter city, and it allows for the maximum degree of citizen and voter feedback in land use matters. Measure A was a land use matter. It was rejected by the voters. As part of the LCP amendment, it is now changing the TR land use designation to visitor commercial. Thank you very much for removing the substantive issue of residential. That did show that there was a substantive change to the designation. We would also like to point out that the TR designation changing to visitor serving commercial to VC is allowing for regional shopping centers. The city has maintained that the change is merely semantic, but in an April 6th memo from a city planner, Jennifer Jesser, to Gary Barbario, the assistant city manager, she says that the commercial development in Carlsbad has shown that visitors are served by specialty retail, such as the Carlsbad Premium Outlets and the Forum Carlsbad, and that this VC designation will allow for the same type of use. Those malls were put in under regional commercial land use. So this change from TR to VC will allow for a regional commercial shopping center, which the voters have already rejected. That is the maximum degree of control, is a citywide vote. I ask you to look into this further, and I ask you to not accept this land use change and to honor the will of the voters of Carlsbad.
What we heard from the public is that they do see it as a significant change, and I'm trying to understand where the difference is here. And maybe we can have well, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, the speaker who came up earlier,
Mascia.
Clarify that,
Ms. Mascia.
at least in your own words for us. That would be helpful for me, at least, because I am leaning in her direction as well right now.
I want to thank you for the opportunity to address this issue again. It is confusing.
And please state your name for the record.
Amanda Mascia.
Mascia.
TR was always intended to be specialty retail. It was supposed to be things like souvenir shops, antique stores, gas stations, things that were lower impact that applied to tourists that would bring them to the coast. The new VC in the memo from April 6th talks about how they are changing the use of visitor commercial to apply to shopping malls. Things like the Carlsbad outlets and the Forum. These are much greater impact, much larger developments. They have larger square footage. They have things like grocery stores. When it applies to zoning, there are substantive differences when you do have zoning as well. With TR, specialty retail as it applied to food service only had 3,500 square feet that you could have. With the regional shopping center that you see in the Forum, there is large grocery stores. So it is a huge difference to the public. This is not a souvenir shop that would go in on the South Shore where you could go and get a Carlsbad mug. What's being proposed underneath the VC land use designation is a shopping center, and the voters voted that down. Thank you.
May I would like to ask a question. Actually, you got away before I could ask you a second question. Thank you. My understanding was you said that you appreciated and you were comfortable with the staff report. Did I mishear you? You said you thanked the staff.
I thank the staff for
And-
recognizing, yes, that there was a substantive difference when it applied to adding residential into the VC commercial designation. So that was also a substantive difference that the community identified. When this land use designation was brought forth by the city, they said it was merely a semantic change, and we started to read into it. Ms. Schumacher outlined that residential would be added. That was never included in TR. We started a letter writing campaign, the commission listened to us, and they removed that. We have now found that there's also allowing for a regional shopping center. And we want to say that's also substantive difference. And we would also like to take a step back and say that is not allowed, and that is not the will of the voters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.